Hello! A fresh breath of life is to happen to Ilori and Enugu depots with a special eye on security, while manifest and proven assurance goes to the general public that with a 37-day PMS self-sufficiency plus intensified depot loading and distribution value chain activities, present petrol availability at the pumps will be maintained. And for all that you know OPEC to be, the organization's Secretary General is telling us what OPEC is not, plus a positive demand projection from its world oil outlook. Time again for questions and answers. Last lap for 2018, we got new whiz kits in waiting. Remember Gas Tech? The 30th edition just took place with over 30,000 professionals coming together. The gains accruing from the gathering is articulated. It's the flagship program of the oil and gas industry across Nigeria's media. My name is Akin Agbejule. This is Oil and Gas Forum.
NNPC is done very well around the country. I think we seem to forget, the kind of shortages we have with petroleum products. You have them very often now. You don't have them. Look at the funding that we have attracted for, AKK. Look at the almost investment decision that is being taken around the LNGs.
Welcome to the highlights. Security is high on the agenda even as Ilori and Enugu depots enjoy a breath of fresh air. And for all we seem to know about OPEC, here is what it is not and something from the World Oil Outlook, Gas Tech and the 30th Gas Technology Exhibition and Conference. Oil and Gas Roving Camera captures for you perspectives around and about the event. From the amphitheater, they are to be launched onto national and global center stage. The Whiz Kids and the Super Whiz Kids are set to emerge in the 2018 NNPC National Science Quiz Competition. It's coming. Details are coming.
No panic to buy fuel for black market. NNPC go bring fuel for all motorists.
NNPC say them get fuel jabrata for ground. Saboteur. All of una wey dey thief with fuel and petroleum station where they hot smuggle and divert our fuel go neighboring country. Plus people where they build small tank and sell fuel past our government price of 145 naira per litre. Stop am o. Because why? Now big offense now. Now jail straight away. NNPC say our government no increase fuel price. Now still 145 naira per litre. So therefore no buy black market, no do panic buying, and no fuel day we go round. Nigerians, if you see any petrol station where they sell fuel past our government price of 145 naira per litre, kia report to the nearest security agency when near you or the Department of Petroleum Resources. Na Ndu Ohamado, Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division NNPC, sign this message.
The federal government is to build a $64.2 million worth of power supply project to communities within Escravos area of Delta State. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Dr. Ibe Kachuku, disclosed this at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. Dr. Kachuku said that previously, the Escravos Lagos Pipeline System, ELPS, was stopped because communities raised concerns over moving 50% of gas required when the immediate community did not have power supply.
We approached the council to approve $64,235,644 to fund two lots, one for the supply of the power itself, which is building the plant, all the engineering services that are required to do that, and then also distributing the power within the immediate community or series of communities that are affected. The council was gracious enough to approve that.
He noted that the approval for the supply of power itself, which is for the building of the plants, include all the engineering services required to do that and also distributing the power within the series of communities affected. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources stated that the power projects, when completed, would provide power to the immediate communities for a period of 4 to 5 years.
We believe that with this, power will be provided to the immediate community run for a period of 4 or 5 years.
The Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), Dr. Mikanti Baru, has appealed to motorists and other consumers of petroleum products across the country not to engage in panic buying of products over the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) industrial action. Dr. Baru said the federal government was seriously engaging the NLC on the issues it raised. A release by NNPC Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, Undu Hamadu, stated in Abuja. He quoted the NNPC GMD as affirming that the nation had 37-day premium motor spirit PMS, otherwise called petrol self-sufficiency, assuring that all the NNPC depots across the country, including the private ones engaged by the corporation on throughput basis, have an abundance of petroleum products to meet the needs of Nigerians. The statement said all NNPC depot managers have been instructed to intensify product loading and other activities in their depots to avert any fallout of development in respect of the NLC's strike. Dr. Baru explained that the NNPC would continue to meet the product's consumption needs of all Nigerians, wherever they may be within the shores of the country. As part of the effort towards revamp the corporation's downstream infrastructure, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) is set to recommission the Enugu and Ilori depots to sustain efficient distribution of products across the country. The Managing Director, Nigerian Pipelines and Storage Company (NPSC), Mr. Luke Anile, disclosed this to Oil and Gas Forum in his office in Abuja. Anile said the corporation, through the NPSC, has brought on stream Enugu and Ilori depots, while still working hard to revive the other facilities in different locations.
We have completed the work on the pipeline between Aba and Enugu. I know that Enugu has second to the largest storage facility we have nationwide.
He noted that the spate of pipeline vandalism in the country is a big challenge and promised to deploy some of the technologies offered by the Pipelines Professional Association of Nigeria plan to enhance performance in construction, maintenance, and protection of the corporation's pipeline business. The Managing Director disclosed that the Arepo and Ijedodo pipelines have also been repaired, as well as the Bonny Port Harcourt crude lines, in preparation for the upgrade of the refineries.
The first point we had it was at Arepo, which was very successful. So we want to replicate that on the crude line from Bonny to Port Harcourt refinery, and also Escravos to Warri refinery.
On the impact of indigenous companies in his company's operations, especially the National Engineering and Technical Company Limited NETCO, another subsidiary of the NNPC, the MD has this to say.
NETCO has been commissioned to develop the work scope and in-house estimate, which will benchmark with some companies that will work in partnership with us, whether under PPP or otherwise, or the ones we are going to award and outright pay outrightly for the rehabilitation.
As part of the ongoing transformation process at the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), the Medical Services Limited is repositioning to open up its facilities across the country for patronage in order to stem medical tourism and earn foreign exchange. In an interview published in the third quarter 2018 edition of the NNPC magazine, Managing Director of NNPC Medical Services, Dr. Musa Shaibu, said the corporation's medical commercialization agenda was on course to rescue Nigerians from excessive medical tourism. He said the idea was to ring-fence and commercialize NNPC's non-core businesses towards providing the corporation with additional revenue stream through partnerships that will provide financing and top-range medical services.
Apart from upgrading our facilities, we're also thinking of setting up special facilities that any person, any Nigerian can go and avail himself of healthcare service. So we have that plan of having flagship facilities that are not owned absolutely by NNPC. They will probably be absolutely be run as business outfits and any Nigerian can go there. And they'll provide the height of healthcare that you can find anywhere in the world.
He noted that the benefits of the new NNPC health venture include improved quality of care to all beneficiaries, availing both NNPC and Nigerian healthcare workers opportunity for professional development in country, become referral center to other hospitals, and increased scope and quality of in-country healthcare.
You need to go to some embassies and see what Nigerians go through just to get visa, to go and pay money in their country to procure healthcare. It's a disaster. So we've looked at it and we said, what are these people going for? What are these healthcare needs they are going for? It includes cancer care, oncology, it includes orthopedic care, it includes neurosurgery, it includes renal transplant. Recently, Nigeria, some hospitals in Nigeria begin to do renal transplant.
Already, the erstwhile NNPC Medical Services Division has since transited from a corporate service unit to a full-fledged limited liability company under the trade name of NNPC Medical Services Limited, NMSL, with a board of directors and a managing director.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has announced dates for the finals and grand finale of the 2018 National Science Quiz Competition. The dates are 8th and 9th October 2018 at the NNPC Amphitheatre in Abuja. At the South Zone, Elika Joseph Ihiagbina of Edo State scored 65 points. Ebute Samuel Adakole of Rivers State came second with 55 points, while Owevo Ogene Tejiri of Delta State came third with 50 points. In the Southwest Zone, the science quiz competition saw Ezonala Ekene Franklin of Lagos State, Igan Emmanuel of Ogun State, and Owosheni Oreolua Olanlesi of Osun State tied with 55 points each. They had to represent the zone in the grand finale.
There's also a lot of work involved in it, like many weeks of practice.
The Southeast Zone saw emergence of OKK Tony Kabilan of Enugu State with 65 points, topping the other contestants from the zone. Imo State's Okeke Ezine Elizabeth came second with 55 points, and Uzondu Chigozirim Emmanuel of Abia State scored 45 points and came third. At the North Central Zone, the Federal Capital Territory and Plateau State, represented by Okeke Favor and Ezemba Confidence, respectively, scored 65 points out of 75 points to emerge first. Agada Vincent, who represented Benue State, came third. The three students will represent the North Central Zone at the grand finale. In a similar development, Kaduna State emerged winner of the Northwest Zonal contest of the competition. The representative of the state, Master Chijoke Ngbeobukwa, a student of Panaf Schools Kaduna, won the contest with 50 points, beating other contestants from Kebbi and Sokoto states, who emerged second and third positions with 45 and 40 points respectively. At the Northeast Zonal Finals of the competition in Gombe, Bauchi State emerged winner with 50 points, while Gombe and Taraba jointly followed with 45 points apiece. NNPC Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, Undu Ramadu, who was represented at the occasion, said the quiz competition was a flagship of NNPC Corporate Social Responsibility Project.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation is well known for so many of its interventions in various aspects of our lives in the quest to touch lives in many positive ways.
The 2018 Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries OPEC World Oil Outlook WOO had revealed that the total primary energy demand is set to expand by a robust 33% between 2015 and 2040, driven predominantly by developing countries, which see almost 95% of the overall energy demand growth. The 2018 OPEC World Oil Outlook was launched recently in Algiers, Algeria. First published in 2007, the report offers a thorough review and assessment of the medium and long-term prospects to 2040 for the global oil industry, as well as analysis of various sensitivities that have the potential to impact the petroleum industry in the years ahead. Launching the outlook, Dr. Mohamed Sanusi Barkindo, OPEC Secretary General, said that the past year had been a historic one for the organization, as well as the global oil industry, with the historic declaration of cooperation. Barkindo added that the importance of these recent developments, specifically in terms of helping achieve sustainable market stability, was vital across all time frames. This year's publication, the 12th edition, presented by Dr. Aid Al-Kwatani, Director of Research Division OPEC, highlights the industry's various linkages and considers developments in areas such as the global economy, energy demand, oil supply and demand, both in the upstream and downstream. This year's WOO launch, alongside the 10th meeting of the Joint Ministerial Monitoring Committee, is part of the celebrations of the second anniversary of the seminal Algiers meeting, the 170th extraordinary meeting of the OPEC conference that took place on 28th September 2016. Some specific highlights from this year's outlook include prognosis that all forms of energies will be required in the future. Natural gas will witness the largest demand growth in absolute terms, and renewables the largest growth in percentage terms, and that long-term oil demand would be 111.7 million barrels per day in 2040, following a forecast on this for the second consecutive year.
The Gas Technology Exhibition and Conference, GasTech, is considered as one of the most significant gas forums where professionals from all over the world meet and discuss the endless potentials of natural gas and LNG as important and strategic factors in the global energy mix. NNPC Oil and Gas Forum went round this year's edition and sampled the opinion of participants, especially to countries that are richly blessed in abundant natural gas resources, such as Nigeria. This is what they have to say.
Under President Muhammad Buhari, we have a lot of plans in NNPC towards the development of our gas resources. Nigeria has over 187 TCF of gas, which is massive. We're actually the 8th largest reserve holder in the world. We have a strategy to develop this gas as part of the initiatives of NNPC. So what we're here to do in this conference is to sell and let the investors, the bankers, the lawyers, to come in and understand the potential in Nigeria and be able to come in and invest in our country.
Very positive development, and it's good for the image of the country. It's good for the oil and gas sector in Nigeria, for us to remain relevant in such fora.
As you can see, we're behind the Nigeria LNG stand, which is a major participant at this conference. Fortunately, they just informed us that by December they'll be signing the FID on the Train 7, which is a significant development.
The gas tech is more or less majorly focused on LNG. So it's also a good opportunity for us as a country to promote and then project the LNG industry in Nigeria.
Hello, welcome to the feedback segments of the program. My name is Julia Auta. This week, our roving camera is on the streets of Abuja, the center of unity, to find out from the public where the refineries are located in Nigeria.
We have it at Kaduna, we have it at Bayelsa, and we have it in Lagos.
There is one in Kaduna. I think there should be one in Warri. Maybe there should be one in Rivers, because I know there is a depot in Rivers State. So I don't know whether it's being refined in Rivers or not.
We have one in Kaduna. We have Port Harcourt. I think Eleme. I think we have Warri too.
I know the one of Kaduna and Port Harcourt, but I don't know the rest.
I know we have one in Kano or Kaduna refinery. I know we have one in the southern parts. I know we have 4, but I don't know their exact locations. But I know we have one in Kaduna, Kano.
We have one in Kaduna, and then we have one in Warri, and then in Port Harcourt.
The Port Harcourt Refining Company Limited is located at Alesa Eleme, Port Harcourt, Rivers State, while Warri Refining and Petrochemical Company Limited is located at Ekpan, Warri, Delta State, and Kaduna Refining and Petrochemical Company Limited is located at Kilometer 16, Kachia Road, Kaduna. And that's it on this segment. Please stay with us for the rest of the program.
Hello and welcome to another extra informative segment of the program. I am Abigail Ojobo. Did you know that FPSO is an acronym for Floating Production Storage and Offloading? FPSO unit is a floating vessel used for the production and processing of hydrocarbons and for the storage of oil. Did you know that the first FPSO in Nigeria is the Bonga FPSO? Did you also know that in January 2018, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), Total Upstream Nigeria Limited (TUPNI), and her partners announced the arrival of the Egina FPSO to the shores of Nigeria? Did you know that the Egina FPSO is the largest FPSO ever installed in Nigeria, with 208,000 barrels per day capacity of oil production, which will increase Nigeria's daily crude oil production by about 10%? Now you know. Please don't go away, the rest of the program continues.
Hello and welcome to Global Crude Oil Outlook. Oil edged higher Friday, driven by the prospect of a shortfall in global supply, once U.S. sanctions against major crude exporter Iran come into force in 5 weeks. Brent crude futures contract was up 26 cents at $81.05 per barrel, off the session's high at $81.90, but still within sight of Tuesday's 4-year high of $82.55. U.S. West Texas Intermediate WTI crude futures were up 31 cents at $71.88 per barrel. U.S. President Donald Trump last week demanded that OPEC raise production to prevent further price rises ahead of midterm elections in November for U.S. Congress members. Analysts said OPEC and Russia appear unlikely to immediately boost production as Trump has demanded. U.S. Energy Secretary Rick Perry has ruled out using U.S. strategic crude reserves to lower oil prices. Estimates vary widely on how much Iranian crude U.S. sanctions could remove from the market, from 500,000 barrels per day to 2 million barrels per day. At its 2018 peak in May, Iran exported 2.71 million barrels per day, nearly 3% of daily global crude consumption. Saudi Arabia will quietly add extra oil to the market in coming months to offset a drop in Iranian production, but is worried it might need to limit output next year as the United States pumps more crude. OPEC has little spare capacity, with Iran as the group's third largest producer. U.S. crude production hit a record 11.1 million barrels per day in the week ending September 21, the Energy Information Administration (EIA) said on Wednesday, up almost a third since mid-2016. Commercial crude stocks rose by 1.85 million barrels to 395.99 million barrels, the EIA data showed. And that's it on this segment of the program. I am Solomon Yopave.
He has done very, very well, and I travel a lot, and there's no part of this country where I don't go because of this my job, and there's no way we cannot find fuel, and he has done very, very well. I wish he will remain there forever.
That's been the package on Oil and Gas Forum for this week. The much time would allow us from the ever-bustling activities of the sector. Happy Independence Anniversary on behalf of the NNPC. Enjoy the holiday and enjoy the week. Bye.